2, check 1, 2, check 1, 2, check 1, 2. See how my sound. Check my system. Check 1, 2, check 1, 2, check 1, 2, check 1, 2. Check 1, 2, check 1, 2, check 1, 2, check 1, 2, check 1, 2. Check 1, 2, family. Can you hear me? Are we in the building? Man, I got a lot going on, man. Good goodness of gracious. I got a lot going on. Y'all got to work with me. Good goodness of gracious. Check 1, 2. Oh, man, I'm on my way. I think I'm on my way. Good goodness of gracious. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. How do I sound? My apology for the delay. Let me do one more thing real quick. I see something that might hinder my vision. Let me see, because let me see something real quick. I be tripping. I think I might be all right. How I sound, how I'm looking. I'm all right, man. I've been working in the background, trying to get this mic right, trying to get everything in order, man. We moving up, family. I'm telling you, we done came up. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't be talking about that old petty stuff no more, man. We going to hey, if they go and take me to the European, might as well go with the big dogs. You know what I'm talking about. Ain't no reason to go for the small fry. Let's go all the way up. You know what I'm talking about. Ain't no need, man. Listen, people ask for my opinion on these topics, and so, hey, I'm going to give them to them. For real, I'm not playing. People ask me, you know what? For the longest time, people been asking me, what do I think about this? And what do I think about this? What do I think about this? What do I think about that? And I be sticking to these fake conscious guys as if people don't know that they fake. You know what I mean? Like, by now, everyone should know that these people that's claiming some sort of consciousness, people claim that they're revealing something that's hidden. By now, everybody should know that it's fake. Everybody should know that the reparations movement is a scam. Everybody should know by now that it's all an illusion. It's all a distraction. Everybody should know by now. It's goofy. It's goofy at best. Ain't nobody fighting for your reparations. It's only YouTube content. That's all it is. And so what I decide to do is to put my wisdom behind some of the things that are happening in the world, create contact, go get the check, and go ahead and get this attorney so we can take the ball right into the end zone. That's just what we're going to do. You know what I mean? Because people value what I say as it relates to the wisdom behind what's going on, like we're going to talk here tonight. You know, one of the things that we need to look at, like, man, listen, I listen to a few things, family. Let me see, because I ain't got my puncher in where I can punch my song in. But let me just throw an intro in real quick, just to keep it in line. You know what I mean? Let me just keep it in line with everything that's going on. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I just want to say, man, all that stuff is fake. Ain't nothing hidden. You know what I mean? There ain't nobody hiding nothing. You know what I mean? It's just goofy at best. You know what I mean? It's all a sham. If you haven't realized by now that the CIA and the FBI have their hands into the music industry, have their hands into Hollywood, have their hands in the conscious internet community, then you just lost forever. If you can't realize that the FBI or the CIA is financing people like Moist Lips, financing all these little documentaries, financing all of these little marches and all that, man, come on, man. If you can't realize these distractions by now, we might as well be stuck in the Stone Age with the Flintstones. We might as well be back there with Barney Rubble now, lifting up a car and running down the street. It's like we are so clueless, and I ain't talking about the Moorish World TV citizens, you know what I'm saying? But it's like we are so clueless as to the games that they play. It's like they don't even upgrade the game. They really take us for a joke because they don't even upgrade the game. They keep the game 30 years behind. In other words, when the guy that was, you know what I mean, when the guy that infiltrated the civil rights movement, he was a photographer. You understand what I'm saying? He was a photographer. So that should be one clue that they're going to bring somebody with a camera looking like you, talking like you, whether it's a video camera, whether it's a phone, or whether it's a picture camera. They're going to do things like documentaries, and they're going to document what's going on. You thinking that they're doing something noble for you, when in fact it's only documenting any progress, documenting anybody who is a threat, documenting anything that they may not be aware of, anything subversive. Man, y'all better wake up. Y'all better wake up. I'm telling you. Listen. When you got a man that claims to be a documentarian, claims to be doing something for the public, by the public, but never bring his family to any event in the public, if that don't tell you something, then you's a fool 5 times over. If you say that you are building something for the public that is constructive for the elevation of the mentality or the intellect of the public, cultural or otherwise, but you don't bring your family with you, you don't bring your children, you don't bring your wife, you don't bring your mother-in-law, your father-in-law, your mother, or anybody to the event. You're the only one there for year after year after year after year. But let me tell you something. If you watch the mob stories, when they broke down the mob in the 90s, you will find that the infiltrator never brought his family in open in the public because it exposes it's too risky to bring the family out. You would notice, look back, just look back. Recently, people will come out and say, that's my father. That's my father. It took almost 30 years for one to come out to say someone was his father after he was exposed. What does that tell you? Like, it's people just watching, being entertained. Listen, everybody need to get together on these internet highwaves and look at these people with influence and examine them closely. Number one, if they don't have a community, they can't talk community. They don't have a community. They cannot talk community if they don't have a community. They cannot talk grassroots if they don't live in a place where it's precipitated by grassroots. That's number one. Now, to the point that I'm making, all of these peoples are actors. They are actors trained by the CIA or the FBI, allegedly. And I say allegedly because we have not found the smoking gun as it relates to the training facilities. But we know that they exist. See, how do we know they exist? There has been stories that show that Walt Disney was, not only was he an informant, but he ultimately became a regular agent. So you don't believe that they infused messages for propaganda in Disney concept. Did y'all hear the latest one? P. Diddy said he was going to buy what? Anybody remember what P. Diddy said? He was going to buy what? Somebody tell it to me. What did P. Diddy said he was going to buy? Anybody with me? Are y'all woke today? If you don't know, there's a video out where Diddy said he's going to buy Disney and he's going to put all black people to work. Huh? There is the connection. That's what he said. He recently said he was going to buy Disney and he wants people to call them to give their resume so he can put people to work. Now, if it was a true noble cause, that would be nothing wrong with that. But when you look at the foundation of Disney, Disney was a prop for propaganda. If you don't know it, Disney was a prop for propaganda. Somebody say he can't afford it. He don't have to afford it because it can be handed to him. He don't have to afford Disney. This is what I'm saying, Michael X. Wake up. He don't have to afford Disney. It can be handed to him so he can precipitate all the things that is yet to come. He don't have to. He don't have to. If this don't lay him down, then you can almost guarantee that something else coming down the pipe. You can almost guarantee whether it's Disney or whether it's something else great. Something else is coming down the pipe. But it's going to be something that is relates to propaganda and boxing our people in. The funny thing about this is that I was watching a few, and I've been scanning the internet lately, and I've been watching these crazy people that is literally, people say this is just a distraction. Michael X, this thing blows me away when we call something a distraction. There is real people that was sex trafficked, brother. This is what we're going to get in today. Brother, Michael X, there was real people that was sex trafficked. There was real people that was trafficked, brother. There was real people life that was torn in half, brother. There was real people that suffered, brother. We need to stop thinking that something is a distraction just because it's all over in your face, all over the place. Of course, it may be, and that's a strong possibility, but you have people's lives that has been ruined. Have you seen Justin Bieber? Have you seen Usher? Usher, the story about Usher giving people herpes went and came like it wasn't nothing. You know, do you remember, man, listen, do you remember Usher? See, this is Moorish World TV, and we got to remind you sometime that Usher was a little boy taken under the wing of Diddy. He took this little boy that the parents was putting on. He took this little boy that the parent was putting on, trying to help him to pursue a dream, whether it was the parents or anything. And from this little boy, they turned him into this, still a little boy. Still a little boy. Still a little boy. Now, you mean tell me that if you have a child, that you would send him to Diddy for Diddy camp or Puffy camp and watch your child be transformed into something like this? And then years later, someone say, oh, it's just a distraction. Oh, it's just a distraction. This fool, Michael X, say that was 30 years ago. 30 years ago was stealing somebody's innocence. Somebody block Michael X, please. Somebody block Mike. Man, let me get my thing to block him real quick. Nah. Let me get my thing to block him. That's a distraction. That's a fed. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Let me get my thing right to block. Give me a second, family. Give me a second, family. I got to get my block on too. Yeah, he got to get out of here. He got to get out of here because there is no way in the world that a person can say that that was 30 years ago. Because when someone loses their innocence because of a predator, it's not 30 years ago. It's not 30 years ago. And it's now just coming to light. Yeah, it's not 30 years ago. No, that's a sad state of affairs for us as a people that can look at something and say that's 30 years ago. You know, because now, just 2 weeks ago, he ran to find Russell Simmons in Bali for whatever reason he did. But we got the nerve to say that's 30 years ago. Now, we're not going to play them games right here because guess what? Some of y'all got children. I mean, some of y'all got children. I think some of y'all got children. Nah, you don't look at that and say, well, that was my child, but that was 30 years ago. Nah, you don't do that. You don't do that. You're an insensitive monster. You are. You are an insensitive monster that would say something is 30 years ago. Do you know what I mean? You're an insensitive monster to see something like a Justin Bieber all nervous in the video. You know what I mean? All nervous in the video. Turned out on drugs. So you got one that has infected people, and this is not an alleged, this is a thing. One who has infected people with herpes, and the story came and gone, and the next thing you know, he's doing a showcase in Las Vegas. And then you got the little Justin Bieber turned out on drugs. He just look good and crazy right now. And somebody got the nerve to say that was 30 years ago. But where did all of it come from? Now listen, another thing we got to point out too is that the way that predators act. The way that predators act. When you look at Cassie, you don't think that she was being preyed on? I got something to say, family. You don't think that she was being preyed on? You don't think that she was being preyed on? No, you think that it was innocent that a 30-some-year-old man would go and chase after a 19-year-old girl. That's innocent. Oh, that's just the way the world is. Let me tell you something. We got to stop dumbing down this stuff. We got to stop dumbing down this stuff. I listen to Maino. I know he's supposed to be some type of tough guy. Anybody know Maino, the rapper? I listen to Maino, and I listen to a couple other people too. You know what I mean? And he was on a show, and he said that basically, and I don't know if he was referring to Diddy, but he would imply that that it appears to be they just coming for successful black men. You hear what I say? We need to stop letting them running with that narrative too. Oh, soon as a black man gets some money, soon as a black man gets some power and gets some success, they'll come for you. No. We got to stop that too. Because now they want, and I see the narrative they trying to do. Now they're going to put the black pride thing in there and make somebody feel guilty for calling them out for being perverts and being sick people. Now they're going to infuse the black thing in there. You wouldn't worry about that when you was running around with all them peens. You wouldn't worry about that when you was running around there with all these alleged things that they accuse you of. Now they want to be so black. Now they want to talk this old black stuff. No. You don't get to do that. You don't get to do that. You should have been that when you hit the $1 billion mark and you didn't build a grocery store. You should have been that when you hit the $1 billion mark and you didn't build a community for affordable rent. You should have been that when you didn't build a trade school. You should have been that when you ain't build a regular school. You should have been all this black stuff when you ain't build nothing for the same people that you stole the culture from and sold it to the mass media. That's when you should have been black pride and black proud stuff. Now, I listen to that. I listen to my brother Fat Joe, and I do like Fat Joe. But Fat Joe was avoiding, oh my goodness. Man, what's funny to me is this, family. What's funny to me is that all of these people that are supposed to be thorough in the streets, the people that's supposed to be straight up and down raw in the streets, when it comes to being raw against your friend, silence. All you can hear is them making excuses. I pray for his children. I pray, and the other thing that they say, I pray for Diddy children. I'm looking at people say, man, I just had to pull over the car. And just pray for his children. I wonder, was he praying for his children when he was calling in the people to do the things that Cassidy accused him of? I wonder, was he praying for his children when he was doing all the things that the other lawsuit accused him of? I wonder, was he thinking about them then? it's his children. His children. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. The residual effect of reckless behavior, it trickles down to everybody you connected to. It never changed since the beginning of time. It never changed since the beginning of time. It always trickled down. But don't talk about, I'm going to pray for this, I'm going to pray for that. What about the person that's going to have this memory for the rest of their life? That this man, listen, let's get busy, man. Let's get busy. Let me see what I want to start with first. Let me move this out the way. Let me see what I want to start with first. Because we're going to put some common sense to this thing. Man, I be listening to this stuff and I be like, man, how in the world can these people support? I listened to a story where I can't think who it was. They was talking about how real Joey Crack was. How real when a DJ took him and Big Pun music, they grabbed the DJ up. You know what I'm saying? DJ Envy was talking about it. I was like, how is it that these people are supposed to be so thorough in a certain way in the streets, but then you got a person that in the industry, that they came up with a suspect woman that may not been a woman. You've seen it. You've seen it before. Most of them turn a blind eye on that stuff. You've seen it. If you've been in the industry long as people like Joe, Fat Joe, and even Maino, man, y'all seen this stuff before. This stuff ain't no secret. The public is just becoming aware of it. You know what I'm saying? You've seen this stuff before. But then look. But that's where we're going to start at. Do you know the amazing thing about this? Is that now they have mentioned Clyde Davis in the lawsuit. Now they have mentioned Clyde Davis in the lawsuit. And now that they mentioned Clyde Davis in the lawsuit, now you know it's going to get heavy. Once they mention somebody like Clyde Davis, yeah, that means they going all out. Because some people thought that the record executive, some people thought that the record executives was going to scare off Lil Rod. Lil Rod had his one attorney. The record executives the other day, they had all these attorneys sending in all of this stuff, filing their paperwork. Hey, listen, they thought that was going to scare him and try to recant. I ain't heard no recanting yet. I ain't heard no withdrawal yet. You know what I mean? They went, so now we starting to hear Clive Davis. When you start to hear someone like Clive Davis with one foot on a banana peel and one in the grave, the monstrous stories that I've ever heard, when they mention him, you know it's getting real. You know it's getting real. You understand what I'm saying? Now listen, they got a new report that they got all the cameras. Nikki just said that Diddy is dropping names. They said he had all hidden. He had hidden cameras all in the house. Well, there is a report that was released. There is a report that was released today that say that they got all the cameras. They say they got all the cameras. Now, listen, we ain't going to make no excuses for this. If we lived in a village, right? If we lived in a village and someone was committing these atrocities, you mean tell me we would say, I'm going to pray for him. We going to pray that we get the strength to do things that he will feel in 5 lifetimes. But now listen, this is the funny part about this. When people start throwing the craziness about they're on a hunt for a black man, when they start throwing this crazy stuff this stuff that they on a hunt for a black man, we need to, fam, everybody that go on these channels should check them right then and there. This ain't no, man, these people have been doing freak parties for years. This ain't no hunt for no, you act like this Martin Luther King or Malcolm X or something, man. These freaky deaky people, man. This ain't, come on, man. This ain't Thurgood Marshall. What are you talking about? Soon as a black man gets some money, man, they done sold death for the last 20 years. They done sold death, homosexuality. They done sold everything that your grandmother would tell you not to do. And now they on a hunt for some. Man, get out of here with that dumb stuff. That's the silliest stuff I ever seen in my life. And people be going for it too. Yeah, soon as a black man gets some money. Man, when he was up in that office with Clive Davis, man, get out of here with that dumb stuff. Absolutely. Abu X say, that's the distraction. How you going to make a defense of that? Let me see. Let's get busy, family. Listen. Oh, man, I got some good stuff for you tonight, family. Let me ask you a question. Real quick. Listen, let's start from the top. Fam, do anybody know who this is? I'll wait. Do anybody know who this is? This is the crazy thing about this. This guy here, 5 years ago. In fact, let me read the story for you. Do anybody know who this guy is? Family, if you don't, I'm going to put you up on game. I hope you do, because it's going to make my job much easier. Let me put you up on game. On May 18th, 2018, listen to this, family. Officer responded to a Trump National Doral, a Miami hotel, regarding multiple reports regarding an erratic man with a gun in the lobby. Jonathan Adi had taken over the lobby and draped an enormous American flag over the resort front desk. The details of the incident was covered in the story we published in September 19, this coming from Rolling Stone. And today we have finally acquired the footage of Mr. Adi's interview from FDLE Special Agent Alberto Burgess. Watch this, family. Pay close attention. And Miami-Dade Police Detective Oscar Adanino. During his interview with the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, Adi, 42-year-old former stripper, stated that he had planned his actions to direct attention to several political issues. He stated he dressed in black clothing and painted his face black so he would not be seen, and that he conducted surveillance on the property about 2 hours. While at the hospital, Adi yelled many spontaneous statements, asking to speak with the FBI, Secret Service, CIA, and the media. He stated that he is an intelligence officer, and also made the following erratic comments. Trump is a traitor. Obama is Osama. Trump makes money on gas, and the laws are corrupt. Adi also told officer he had a statement with Barack Obama and the rap artist known as P. Diddy. He had a settlement. I'm sorry. He had a settlement with Barack Obama, Donald Trump, and the rap artist known as P. Diddy. Now, 2 of these haven't been confirmed, and P. Diddy, the message about P. Diddy is we about to get into it. The video presents portion of the interrogation of Jonathan Adi, whose last name could hardly be more appropriate, and who at one point worked for the website Dancing Bear as a porn star. Stop right there. Now, 2 things you need to notice in this. He said he had a settlement with Barack Obama, Donald Trump, and P. Diddy. What does that have to do with anything? Well, it has a lot to do with a lot. This guy here, now remember, this is 5 years ago. Now, listen to this, family. Listen, we get busy here. 5 years ago.
Okay.
You don't have,
Time in the United States?
Yeah.
Just my dog, Bubbles. My service
dog?
Yeah. Diddys and Ross, which they good buddies, okay? They're gay.
Who?
Both. Diddy and Ross. And Khaled. They're all gay, okay?
DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, and P. Diddy?
Yeah.
They're all gay?
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
Khaled is a Hamas supporter. Okay?
Who supported?
Hamas.
Now, I got to do this right because this come off a sensitive website. But he says DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, and Diddy is all gay. Remember, this is 5 years ago. Listen to this.
Hamas.
Yeah.
Sorry, I said it wrong.
No worries.
Hamas supporter, okay? I had sex with Cassie and Sean.
5 years ago, he said that he had X with Cassidy. This is 5 years ago. Listen to this.
I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would masturbate and tell me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters.
Did you hear what he just said? He said Listen, this is before the complaint. They thought this man was crazy. Listen to this one more time. They thought this man was crazy. And when he was in that place, they thought he was crazy. You follow me? Listen one more time.
He would masturbate. I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would masturbate and tell me what to do with Cassie. I had like 50.
You hear that? You hear that? Now, this is the thing about this. It wouldn't be nothing if Cassie wouldn't have came out with the lawsuit in November. But this is 5 years ago. Family, over here on Moorish World TV, we press 7. We press 7 over here. If you hear what I'm saying, press 7. How could he say that 5 years ago and this lawsuit just happened in November? Help me out. Help me out. See, right here, we put the pieces of the puzzle together. We just not talking. You see what I'm saying? And so all the people talking about they're chasing this black man because this black man got some money. Come on, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. How does this man that they said was crazy? They said he was crazy because he started talking about Obama. He started talking about Donald Trump. So now, if that's true, it begs the reason that we look into the other stuff. Moorish World TV, Moochie, we on a mission. It begs the reason that we look into the other stuff because this is 2018. This is 2018. And not to mention, you got to remember, let me play it all back.
Okay.
So you don't have,
Time in the United States?
yeah.
Just my dog, Bubbles. My service dog? Yeah. Diddys and Ross, which they good buddies, okay? They're gay.
Who?
Both. Diddy and Ross. And Khaled. They're all gay, okay?
DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, and he did it?
Yeah.
They all gay?
Yeah.
Now remember, this is an unprovoked interview. He's providing this information. The interview is longer than this, but he's providing the information. There is no one directing him. In fact, he's speaking spontaneously. In other words, he's all over the place in this interview. I had to clip it down to get the point, to get the part that I want to make the point, but he's all over the place in this interview. And it does sound crazy, but this part right here.
Gotcha.
Khaled is a Hamas supporter. Okay?
Who supporter?
Hamas.
Hamas. Yeah.
Sorry, I said it wrong.
No worries.
Hamas supporter. Okay? I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would masturbate and tell me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters, and I heard a lot.
Well, hidden in plain sight.
It's hidden.
I think I see what you're saying.
Okay, how do I know this?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. How do you know this?
Do you know Sean Combs?
Puff Daddy?
Yeah.
P. Diddy, whatever you call himself these days. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he's part of what's called the Boule. The Boule is a branch of the Illuminati.
Okay.
It's the black people. Okay. I'm from Africa, so I'm not a racist. Okay, you my brother, so I like.
Now this guy here. I did the research on him. This guy is actually from South Africa. You understand what I'm saying? And I told y'all in a former show about other people, how they train people in South Africa. Remember when we was talking about, I think we was talking about Brother Polite. And I said that they trained people in Nigeria, Kenya, and South Africa. Remember when we had the video that looked real strange when the hidden guy went to South Africa and everything seems odd. In South Africa, they have these camps that train people in the ways of the CIA, the FBI, to do missions for the betterment of the country under the name of national security. So this guy saying that he is an agent and he's from South Africa, it sounds crazy to people who are not in the know. But for us that are in the know, we know good and well that this goes along the line of the stories that we've been covering here on Moorish World TV. And let me tell you something. I keep telling y'all, the identity distraction is the biggest distraction going. I mean, is the biggest distraction going. The Native American argument, the FBA argument, even all of that stuff is the biggest distraction going.
My mom, I was raised by an African woman in my house. Okay, she was just a servant, but she was she, took care of me.
Right.
So I know black people. Okay. I had a settlement with Sean. Okay, he's Donald Trump. Okay, because he used to belong to their side. You understand? He used to belong to that illuminated group that I told you about, which is an elite group. Okay, of individuals which run the whole country. Alright. Basically, what I did you tell him how I explained about the message? Or please. Larry. On Thursday, turning to Friday, basically, I went to Donald Trump. I went through the gates. I took I jumped the fence and I took the American flag, I put it in the front desk, and I blew the chandelier. Basically, what I did that for is to transmit a statement to the American people and to Donald Trump.
Now listen. When people look at Donald Trump today, you have to admit that that's not the Donald Trump that you remember. The Donald Trump that was rocking with Don King and everybody would use the name Trump. He said that Donald Trump was with a certain group of illuminated people, or, we call it the Illuminati, but I don't like to use that term, but secret society. He said he left that one, and that's how you get the Donald Trump you got today. If you listen closely, that's basically what he's saying. And he's against this Donald Trump. And that's what led him to do the things that he did. And now this was about protesting for against something that he disbelieved or didn't support with Trump. He just threw Diddy in the conversation. This wasn't even a conversation about Diddy. It wasn't even a conversation about Diddy. And now, 5 years later, Cassidy, not only that, he mentioned ex trafficking and everything. He mentioned drugs, everything. He mentions all of that in this interview. And now, right in both lawsuits, you see the same thing. What's the likelihood? What's the likelihood that someone 5 years ago is going to say something that accurate right now? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. And even when we look at Jaguar Wright, we need to stop playing. Whether she was there or not, a lot of what she says is spot on, and people was thinking she was crazy 2 years ago. And everything she said pretty much is spot on.
My focus right now is Sean Combs because he's a trafficker, most likely because he was victimized by his mentor, Clyde Davis.
Rumor has it, allegedly, Diddy got on his knees for Clyde Davis in 1994.
But he got a boss too, and his boss name is Clyde Davis. Clyde run him. Diddy don't run himself.
So now, at the end of the day, now I know, now listen. Don't think that I am rubber stamping everything that Jaguar Wright said, because I'm not. I'm not rubber stamping everything that Jaguar Wright says. I'm saying that the things that we have come to discover that she have said in the past concerning Diddy is spot on. Spot on. I'm not condoning all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know about the big L stuff. I don't know about all that. You know what I mean? But Listen to this. How is it that she can break that thing down like that? And 1 second. And then, let me throw this up here real quick. Just insane to me, man. It really is crazy to me. They say that Clive turned Diddy out. Right? They say that Clive turned Diddy out. Now, in this interview here, in this memoir, the soundtrack of my life, Clyde Davis talks about him being gay. At 80 years old, he talks about he being gay. And this happened in the late 80s. Bad Boy Records get the jump off in 94. Right? Diddy first is interning at Uptown Records. And the word is that at first, Clive was mentoring Andre Harrell. And then when Diddy came in, Andre Harrell get kicked to the curb and Diddy get pulled to the front line. Now here is the thing about Diddy. Diddy was no different than a Malik Zulu Shabazz in college. What do I mean about that? See, it was a guy on the show that said that that Howard University is a coon's nest. It just breeds agents. It breeds them. And so, like Malik Zulu Shabazz, he would first be a promoter on campus as he sought to get a law degree. Puffy was also a promoter. Puffy was not necessarily a rapper or producer. He was a promoter. And from being the promoter, he built this great conglomerate. What am I saying? I keep telling people that when you think people made it by their own skill at this level, you're doing something or being pushed through. Because you have y'all don't understand how powerful media is. Media is the most powerful weapon in the universe right now. Stronger than an atomic bomb. Listen to what I say. I remember Farrakhan saying that our unity is more powerful than an atomic bomb. But I will tell you that today, more powerful than our unity right now is this idiot box. Because listen to what I'm saying. We have never been united as a people coming from different parts of Africa, the Americas, the islands. We had never been united on the same front. So that's just an illusion that we all gonna come together and see things alike. That's a distraction for real. That's an illusion. The most powerful thing, if you want to bring people together, is this medium right here. This is more powerful than an atomic bomb. Because let me tell you something. Hitler could not do what he did without the media. Before Hitler moved on his campaign, he had billboards everywhere. He had things in the newspaper pushing the propaganda to turn people against the European Jew. Whether you agree with it or not, the media was the arm of the war. After the media did its work, it was easy for the people to follow up and be heartless. Because they was groomed by the media, newspaper, radio, and any other media that they had, billboards. They was groomed by that to be desensitized in order to put people in ovens. They was desensitized. Their heart of flesh became a heart of stone. And they was able to pull off these atrocities without guilt. And it's the same thing here in America, how media is being used to manipulate our people. You feel what I'm saying? And so even when people get to the top of their media platform, whether it be hip hop, Hollywood, documentaries, whatever, the ultimate goal is to control the narrative and manipulate those to be docile or to expose those who pose a threat. That's what the media, listen, they either going to sell you something or they are going to propagandize a message to shut you down. That's just what it is. Do we really think, I'm going to get to another couple slides in a minute. Do you really think that hip hop went from X medallions? Hip hop went from X medallions, college hoodies, African wear, Queen Latifah wearing the big demonstration, looking like Nefertiti or Nefertari, to kill a N-word, shake your butt, girl. You really believe that and it's been going on like that for the last, since 91, 92? You really believe, this doesn't mean that gangster rap wasn't out there, but you really believe that's not orchestrated? And it's been going on like this since 91, 92. Kill a N-word. Smack your mother in the face. Come on. This is by design. But that's what media does. It propagandizes a message and control the masses in the direction that they want. Because while you partying, they're changing policy. While you partying, they're creating more secret organizations in order to rule for another 100 years. And these Negroes that get in position, whether it's Puffy, whether it's Russell, whether it's Puffy, Russell, or anybody in these key positions, Oprah, anybody in these key positions, it don't matter. They are going to be controlled by those that have the real power. And they're disposable. I'm of the thought that Puffy will be disposed of. Gene said that Puffy had a handler and his handler died. And now I believe that Puffy is about to be disposed of. They could have covered this up like they do everything else. Come on. How many years did they know about R. Kelly? How many years did they know about R. Kelly until they say, okay, it's time to move? How many years we hear about Jay-Z was with Foxy Brown? Ain't nobody researching or investigating that. How many years we heard that he was with Rihanna underage? How many years have we heard that? Whether true, wrong, right, or indifference, listen. How many years have we heard these things? So at any given moment, they can cut the rope and say, let's go. Off to the races. at any given moment. Listen, most of these people have some dark secrets. And they all connected with the powers that be. The ones that control the security of this country, they in bed with them. Come on, there's a story that's going around that Diddy was transporting liquid cocaine in Ciroc bottles on private jets. Listen to what I'm saying. That's a story that came out of the same guy's mouth, that they was moving liquid cocaine out of private jets. Ain't it something that all of these rappers brag about their private jets? Rick Ross, The Baby, Meek Mill, all of these rappers, all of a sudden, all of the rappers who is somebody got private jets. When that happened, I remember Method Man was like, hold up, man. I've been in this game for X amount of years, but everybody riding private? What am I doing wrong? And then a year later, he said, okay, I figured it out. Come on, man. How did we go from EPMD talk about he drives a Corvette, I drive a Samurai Suzuki? Remember that? He talking about Parrish Smith, he drive a Corvette, I drive a Samurai Suzuki. Rolling in the Montero Jeep, modest cars. Remember that? To now, all of a sudden, the game done change. It ain't changed that much. It ain't changed that much that everybody you see got on a slick Rick diamond crusted jewelry hanging off of their neck looking like tinfoil. You better believe something going on. But Diddy is the tip of the iceberg. Diddy the tip of the iceberg. I'm going to tell you, y'all think everybody getting rap money. Okay. And the young brothers out there that be following in these trends, thinking that they're going to be famous and get this type of rap money. All right. Keep chasing that dream. But whatever the case may be, let me share this with you. So Clyde Davis says, man, I do you one better.
In your book, you reveal that you are bisexual. Why did you wait so long, Clive, to make that public?
I was only turning to bisexuality after my second marriage failed. When the marriage failed in the mid-'80s, I opened myself up to the possibility that I could have a relationship with a man, as well as the two that I had with a woman.
Now you mean tell me he tells you that he opened himself up to the possibility that he can have a relationship with a man. And in 1994, Bad Boy Records begin their ascension. This was on Twitter. 2022. Sean Diddy Combs was given his bad boy imprint by Arista Clive Davis, who is openly gay. What Sean had to do for the riches is not uncommon for successful black men in the entertainment and politics. All the glitters is not gold. Run your race. Let the next man run his. Have you ever heard him refute this? These things been out there for a minute. It's like when they accuse Meek Mill. Of being gay. You know what I mean? Meek Mill, he say from the streets, he a young brother. You know what I mean? Maybe the game didn't change. But where I come from, and I'm just talking about from a mental state of mind, where I come from, man, you ain't got to prove that you're not gay. You supposed to just punch somebody in the mouth. I'm not condoning violence, but that type of attitude is the attitude we grew up with. Let me tell you something, family. I don't condone violence. I don't want no smoke. Trust me, I don't want no smoke. I'm going to just report and give you my information. That's it. I'm going to give you my information that I uncover. But from that type of mentality that Meek Mill displayed, when someone call you a B, call you a fruity when you're not, if somebody want to be that, that's their business. But when you're not, the response is not to say how many people that you had sex with, how many women that you had sex with, and how many, like Meek Mill did. The true response is, when I see you, have that same energy. That's what it is. And these people are stars. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That these people are stars. And those that are just trolling, you're supposed to be smart enough to ignore that. Meek Mill, you need me to be your publicist, man. Just ignore that, man. You ignore that. But he went on for a day and a half saying how many women that he slept with, saying how many women that love him, how much he loved a woman's private parts. That don't work like that. When you really from the trenches, it's one response. It's one response. Man, I see you when I see you, man. I heard you. I heard you. I see you when I see you. That's the only response you get. You know? But when one go out their way trying to break down, man, nah. It don't work like that. I mean, yeah, it don't work like that. It don't work like that. Not where I'm from. It don't work like that. But with that being said, family, how is it that when we look at, like I said, we got rappers now coming out. We got the hidden guy. Let me find the hidden guy. We got the hidden guy. He's coming out also defending Diddy. Let me find the hidden guy real quick. We got the hidden guy coming out defending Diddy. You know what I mean? All of these people defending Diddy. You follow me? Give me 1 second. See if I can find the hidden guy real quick. I think I can find the hidden guy. Where's the hidden guy? Well, you know the hidden guy. The hidden guy, everybody coming out defending Diddy. You know what I mean? Everybody coming out defending Diddy. But how are you able to defend Diddy? You know what I mean? Think of the hidden guy. The hidden guy was one of the first ones says it's a money grab. The hidden guy says, listen, this is all a money grab. That's what the hidden guy said. You know what I mean? Yeah, the hidden guy said, it's all a money grab. And there's not a woman that stood up. There's not a woman that stood up and said, hold up, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Did you actually read the accusation before you made it? Man, I'm telling you, man, we crazy, man. We crazy, man. We crazy. Did you actually read the accusation? There. The hidden guy that make hidden stuff that we revealed. These people are crazy. Whether it's LeBron James, it doesn't matter. All of these people should be questioned and looked at sideways. All of them. Slim Thug, all of them should be looked at sideways. Look, listen, there's a story out, right? There's a story right now that you don't want to miss. We're going to get into it in a second. Listen. Anybody familiar with these two people? Let me clear off my board real quick. Anybody familiar with these two people? I'm going to wait for somebody. I'm going to clear off my board real quick because we cooking tonight. Anybody know who these two people are? This is Cassie. All right? And this is her friend who go by the name Red. Now, since Cassie dropped her lawsuit in November 2023, You have other people that have came out but really haven't had their story to see the light of day like they should have seen the light of day. And this is one of Cassie's best friends named Red. And she also had a story to tell, which flies below, over, under, or wherever the radar is. It's just gone. But listen to her story. Open letter to Sean Combs. I'm stepping forward to recount my experience as a witness to events detailed in my friend Cassandra Ventura's now settled civil lawsuit against you. I'm breaking my silence. I'm freeing myself from haunting recollections, standing in solidarity with Cassie and standing up for myself. I fear for my safety as her suit alludes to me. Come with a lawsuit. Although not by name. I hope that revealing my identity to the public would afford me some measure of protection. Cassie and I became friends in 2015 while co-writing songs for her album that you never release. We remain close friends to this very day. I'm one of the friends mentioned in her lawsuit, specifically from the night of her 29th birthday, as detailed in the section labeled Mr. Combs Forces Miss Ventura into X trafficking. This is why you can't defend this. This is crazy. The weight is heavy as I gather my thoughts to articulate these distressing memories, physical reactions, the surge of heat on my face, sweaty palms racing heart, and onset of a panic attack serve as a stark reminder of the toll it's taken. I am traumatized by you. The burden of vocalizing these experiences should never been mine or anyone else's. Watch this, family. You got to hear this. You got to hear this. We did a song called Loyal that you didn't like. We were writing about her pain. In the first verse of the song, she sings, I don't know what is real. I just know how I feel. And I keep acting like you don't know what you did wrong. Trying to get me to chill. Since we ain't been together, I've been on some whatever. She was pushing back in that song. You later came back and told me, and you later came back to me and said you were playing. I didn't believe you. One of your security guards did something similar. I never met him before either. He approached me and said, I heard a lot about you, Tiffany. You both creeped me out. And this interaction was super intimidating. I felt like you both wanted me to know that you knew who I was and you didn't like how close I was to her. Later that evening, after being at the party, since it started that afternoon, Cassie wanted to go to a karaoke spot called Blind Dragon on Sunset Boulevard with some friends. You were not happy that she was leaving. I remember your people hovering around us, trying to discourage Cassie from leaving. But we went anyway. You followed us and arrived just a little bit after we did. You was instantly uncomfortable. It was instantly uncomfortable. You pulled Cassie out into a private karaoke room. She put her head down and went with you. I followed to see if she was okay because something was off. When I walked out of the room, you had her backed into the corner in a hallway outside of the door, and your security surrounded you too as you cursed at her. As you cursed her out with your hands in her face.
She and I briefly made eye contact. I felt helpless. She looked afraid and kept looking down at the floor. I did not know what to do. I was scared. Come on, man. This is what I'm talking about. This is the part we're supposed to be paying attention to. 1 second. I was scared. Karaoke was cut short because you wanted her to leave with you. Cassie asked me and 2 other friends if we would meet her back at her place and stay the night. She was stopping at her house first to grab a bag and then be going with you. I said yes because I was worried you would hurt her. Prior to this incident, she had confided in me that you was physically abusive, and the way you were in her face that night was alarming to me. I didn't want to leave her alone. When she got back to her house, she kept saying to us she didn't want to go with you, but you were already on your way to pick her up. One of our friends was packing an overnight bag for her. I'll never forget it. It was the biggest Birkin bag I ever seen. It was blue. I kept asking why they are packing her stuff as if she clearly said she didn't want to go with you. And this person said she always goes. You arrived at the door and you whisked her away. Cassie looked uneasy. I did not know where you were taking her. Once you left, the person who packed the bag said, they'll be back. Watch. It was almost like they've seen this movie before. Come on, family. We got to read this. We got to get through this. See, this is what these people are defending out here. Not on Moorish World TV. Not on Moorish World TV. We advocate for those who have been mistreated. A few hours later, I was woken up by you screaming, emotionally singing. Let me back up. A few hours later, I was woken up by you screaming, emotional singing B. Where are you? You and Cassie were back. It was around 3 or 4 a.m. When I walked out of her bedroom where I was asleep, you yelled, emotional singing B. There you are. I was mortified, humiliated, and scared when I realized you were talking to me. You was visibly intoxicated, and so was Cassie. She appeared sedated and very withdrawn. It was the first time I saw her this way. You started screaming at us, telling your girl she wants some birthday blank. I flew all the way from Miami. She gonna get this birthday D. She doesn't have to have X with you if she doesn't want to. I said she doesn't have to have X with you if she doesn't want you. You just kept screaming, she's gonna get this D. All I kept thinking about was how before you came to get her and she was sober. She kept telling us she didn't want to go with you. Yeah, this the real deal. This is the friend. This is why he had to pay this lawsuit. There was a lot of witnesses that witnessed this stuff. It says, you left her place in chaos on a golf cart and rode off into the night. We watched you from her balcony, driving towards your house. I thought you were going to get pulled over and go to jail or crash from being so high. It was like a real life scary movie. I was terrified for Cassie and completely traumatized. She later told me that you made her have a freak off, which Cassie described in her lawsuit as an arrangement where you would make her perform sexual acts with male sex workers that night. Let me go back here for all of those that say they want to pray for Diddy and all of that. I was terrified for Cassie and completely traumatized. She later told me you made her have a freak off, which Cassie described in her lawsuit as an arrangement where you would make her perform sexual acts with a male sex worker that night. The reason you called me Emotional Singing Bee was because you were listening to new songs we wrote during the freak off that had begun after you came to get her earlier that night. I'm disturbed to my core by this. It makes me think it must have been the songs Cassie had recorded, yet that were still demos. I can't begin to explain how it makes me feel thinking about how my voice playing in the background of that nightmare. Only on Moorish World TV, family. I'm asking you all to subscribe, support the channel any way that you can. We're going to keep on digging up this truth. But definitely support the channel, you know. Yeah, this is the real deal. This is the real deal. And that's what the friend put out there. You follow what I'm saying? Now, with that, and with this guy has said.
Okay.
You don't have
Time in the United States?
Yeah.
Just my dog Bubbles. My
Just your dog?
Yeah. Diddys and Ross, which they good buddies, okay? They're gay.
Who?
Both. Diddy and Ross. And Khaled. They're all gay. Okay?
DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, and he did it?
Yeah.
They're all gay?
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
Khaled is a Hamas supporter.
Now remember, this is 5 years ago.
Hamas. Yeah.
Sorry, I said it wrong.
No worries.
Hamas supporter, okay? I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would masturbate and tell me what to do.
Remember, this is 5 years ago. How is it that 5 years ago he's saying something that we are just privy to in November and the friend confirms recently? And you telling me somebody is protecting, saying that it's a hunt? Crypto say, real deal Holyfield, I ain't seen no one go in like this on this story. Thank you, Crip. And we got more to come. I just couldn't, my time this week, family, I told you we go into bigger stories because the talent that we have here on Moorish World TV, man, we can really enlighten and bring people some real connecting the dots stories. My time this week was kind of taken aback because my wife's birthday was Thursday and she wanted to have a birthday all the way to Sunday. You know what I mean? So, nah, I'm just playing. She deserved it. But in a nutshell, remember that this guy said this in 2018. And not only are you hearing it from Cassie, but you're also hearing it from Cassie's friend. Come on now. You're hearing it from Cassie friend, and a stranger that got locked up for protesting Trump. Come on now. Are we seriously going to act like that this is... Come on, man. With that being said, family, we cannot forget, before we get out of here, family, we cannot forget.
Justin, you ever seen the movie
Look at
48
this.
Hours?
Remember this?
Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're
Remember
having the
this?
times of their lives, like
Look how,
you know,
look at
where we
look,
hanging
look,
out and
look,
what we
look,
doing.
look, Justin. Look at him.
We can't really disclose, but
Look at that nervousness. Look at this
it's
nervousness.
definitely a 15-year-old's dream. You know, I have been given custody of him. You know, he signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship.
Look at this
of
nervousness.
Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album.
And you mean
I don't
tell me
really-
you
I don't
got
have
some
legal
rappers out
guardianship
here
with him, but
talking
for the next
about
48
they
hours,
praying for Diddy?
He's with me, so
Look at this.
yeah,
Come on now.
And we gonna go full, buck full crazy.
I'm going crazy.
Come on now. You can't be serious. You can't be serious that people would act as if that they can't see. Now the problem is, let me tell you something. Thank you, Liddell Moore. Thank you so much for your support. The problem is this, right? This is one of the problems that I have. These are real street guys that are saying, I just pray for the people involved. These are real street guys that if I would call a punk, they would want to punch me in my face. If I would call them a B, they would talk about murking me. If somebody take a pack from them, you know what I mean? A pack of work. They would lay them down in the alley. You mean tell me that these same people don't have the same principle when it comes to something like this? You mean tell me that? The same people that has the same principle. That, man, you hear stories. Man, they beat this guy up because they wouldn't play the record. They kidnapped this guy because they took his record and leaked it. But these same people will sit up there and make defensive postures for something like this. Like, come on, man. This stuff ain't made up. This random guy get pulled in by the peoples for draping a flag and talking about Trump and talking crazy. Come on, man. Come on, man. We come on, man. We smarter than that. We smarter than that. And I know people gonna get mad at me, but we smarter than that. I would assume we're smarter than that. Come on, man. Come on, man. Do we remember? Listen. In the
My
lawsuit.
focus right now is Sean Combs.
Okay. Tell us why.
Because he's a African. And he's using music and entertainment to traffic.
Now, is this just boys, girls, adults, kids?
I mean, from what I've heard from sources that I would consider reliable, it really doesn't matter.
Wow.
Now, Jaguar Wright is talking about trafficking before it's in the lawsuit. But she was written off as crazy too. Before it was in the lawsuit, Jaguar Wright talking about trafficking. And now it's in the lawsuit. And listen to me. It's not by just one person. It's a couple allegations. But they want to make her crazy. Well, they make everybody crazy when they start exposing people. They try to make me a stalker. They try to make me a stalker because I'm going to expose the agent amongst us. They're going to make me a stalker where there's no evidence to the matter, to the fact. But these people in high places got a lot of connections. They got a lot of connections. You know what I'm saying? Look at this, man. Listen. Remember when what's the guy name? When they did the interview and he was talking about him and Usher shared the bed. Y'all remember that? And they woke up for cornflakes and all of that kind of thing. Y'all remember all that? Look at this, man. What happened to Usher, man? Look at this. You don't think Usher got a story to tell? You don't think Usher got a story to tell? If he ever get the courage to tell his story, oh, it's ball game. It's ball game. I think he got the biggest story to tell. You know what I mean? I think he got the biggest story to tell because you got to remember, right? You got to remember that Usher, right? Hold up one second. You got to remember that Usher came from here. You got to remember Usher came from here. 14 years old. You got to remember that. And what person would allow their child to go into a Diddy camp? And he even said that he's seen some things that no child should be seeing. But then look at this. Don't it look like a slaveholder examining a slave? This is sad. With Diddy since he was 13. Just take this in real quick before we get out of here. Come on now. So as we dig into this story and other stories like this, know for sure that we just not jumping out the window. We're just not jumping out the window. We're going to tell the story in a way that most people are not going to tell the story. We're going to connect all of these dots. Look, like I said, we got so much more. It's 12 o'clock. That's my time. On the East Coast, it's 12 o'clock, but that's my time. But trust me, family, this stuff is sickening, and anybody that defends it, they are just as sick. They are just as sick. You know what I mean? They are just as sick. And the crazy thing about it, even when they hear somebody defend it, and that's your friend, and you don't check them, and I'm talking about these rappers, man, you got problems. You got problems. There is no reason to defend this behavior. No reason. There's too much going on. It's like around the way. It's like around the way when back in the day, during the Reaganomics, the crack era, people ain't just debate was somebody the people's or not. People didn't debate whether somebody was the people's. The evidence say that everybody went to jail but you. You got to be the people's. Everybody got taken in, they let you out. You got to be the people's. That was as simple as it was. Ain't nobody wait. It's like these gangsters, rappers supposedly, they waiting for the judge to say somebody is guilty. They waiting for the judge. You know what I mean? I heard that before. I remember Dumb Sinetta said that stuff about Polite. Well, I ain't gonna say nothing until the judge say something. But then they call the white man the devil. You waiting for the judge to say something when all the evidence right there. You got a 14-year-old that got a the kid thing, been examined, the mother saying something, and you talking about you waiting on a judge. And even in this, you hear people saying that, well, he ain't been tried yet. He may never be tried. But we know what the evidence say, and we not crazy. We know what different people say at different times, and we not crazy. We know that at different years, like the Europeans say it this year, and then she say it this year, we not crazy. Why we need a judge to rubber stamp something? Heck, he might not never see a judge. But you're supposed to be the judge and not to allow this type of influence to be in our community no more. Who cares if the judge, listen, everybody, listen, the best thing that you can do is not support this nonsense. Just not support it. Waiting on a judge to put a gavel down. You's a slave. You no different than a slave. They just stole some more food out the pantry. I'm not going to say nothing. But if he keep going, he just gonna get caught. I just wait till he get caught. I just wait till he get caught. You know what I'm saying? And then when they get caught, you say, look, I told you so. You know what I mean? See, I'm the type of person that say, man, stop stealing food out the pantry, man. Don't even trip, man. Let's just get out of here. That's my remedy for that. But you got people that just stand around and just watch stuff. And in this situation, you got people standing around that stood around, watched all this stuff happen, and then they like, okay, but he ain't go to court yet. Y'all been in all these little freak off circles. And then the ones that defended it, they most likely went to a dirty party. I ain't said Diddy party. The ones that defend this stuff most likely have been to one of these dirty parties. Most likely. Because why else would you defend it? Why else would you defend something so vulgar? Why would you defend something so nasty? Why would you defend something where it's so many different variations of the story, but they all go together? And I say variations coming from various people, but they all go together. Why would you defend that? With that being said, family, I appreciate you, family. We'll be back here tomorrow with another explosive update. But yeah, we're going to look into some of these claims. We're going to look into some of these claims that was made, and we're going to dig deep. We're going to dig deep. So if you see me going live, fam, you already know that I'm putting together something for you that normally people don't have. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's available to the public, I'm going in another direction. I'm going in a whole nother direction to give you some insight of what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? To give you what's really going on. I'm not going to give you the same thing that you can click on your internet and you can see. I'm going to give you something that you ain't seen before. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to give you something. I'm going to go to work with this demonstration because we're going to blow this channel up and we're going to bring the information to the people and we're going to put people on alert like, watch out for this, watch out for that, watch out for this, watch out for that. Because yes, I want the views. That's right. I want all the views. I want all the subscribers because that way we can get this message out that this stuff is unacceptable. And people who support it, they need to be dealt with the same way that we deal with anything else that we disapprove of. We just cut it off. Bad habits, cut them off. Bad people, cut them off. Just cut them off and keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? That's all we got to do. And keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to get out of here.
Yeah. Islam. I'm trying to be your friend, man.
Thank you for joining me.
Trying to be your friend, bro.
Yeah.
Help me out. Meet me halfway. Come on now. I wanna be your friend. Peace and love. Let me be your friend. Peace and love. I said you ain't never met a more like me, and you ain't never ever gonna meet one again. Now let me be your friend. Peace and love. Let me be your friend. Peace and love. I said you ain't never.
Thank you for joining me, family. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up.
Ever gonna meet one again. I wanna be.
I appreciate y'all. Hey, family, we gonna keep it hot. Jay-Z up next.
Until I met the prophet, now I'm all about love,
true peace and freedom.
Till I return to a law.
One day we gon' meet. What up, Big
All
Mom?
about justice, that's the focus of the message.
Sometimes
Asiatics make me wanna forget the lessons. I be all up in my passion from all the Moorish passion. All things considered, I start laughing. A grown man with a
what up, Manny Bay? Sister Yasmin. Dog walk daily. What it do?
We got nothing better to do than talk down to each other.
Melanin A1. What it do? Nice to see y'all in the building. Oh yeah, we gonna heat up tomorrow. That's right. We gonna heat up tomorrow. There is no prisoners. We here to expose the frauds. We going all the way up though.
They used to call me dope, but no, I'm rolling with the prophet of Allah. Want love, not war. Standing on that.
Oh yeah, we about to bring all the music back and everything. Yeah. Hey family, don't forget the thumbs up. Don't forget the thumbs up. And come back and leave a comment once the video is up. Help the video flow because ain't nobody putting in work like us. That's right.
prophet book. It's in the Quran. All that other stuff, prostrate and cover up is just the start. The nearest place to me, the law's the heart. You can
If anybody wants to advertise something positive on this channel, email me at Moorish World MWTv update. I got you. What up, Talib? We be back tomorrow at 10 o'clock, Talib. We be back tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Heated, fired up. We be back tomorrow. We might be talking about Jay-Z because Jay-Z is on the radar now. I'm telling you, I might have to get me one of them vests, man. Yeah, we going for the big fish. That's right. That little hidden guy, man, we got him. He done. Peace and love, family.
No, I'm not there yet. So work with me, fam, and I'ma work with you.
And let's all work together and do what we gotta do.
Cause on the real side,
we haven't made no progress
since 1929 when the prophet left the flesh. We got an Asiatic president, men marrying men, psycho shooting up a club and don't see his own sin. And those that say they conscious, that took your bucks. Move straight to Hollywood and straight living it up. And y'all bigging it up, straight cheesing and grinning. But it was your bread to help him set it off in the beginning. Be careful what you put in your soul, cause it could blind you. Unfortunately, some people get paid to misguide you. Oh yeah, I wanna be your friend. Peace and love, let me be your friend. Peace and love, I said you ain't never, and you would never. You ain't never, ever, ever. You ain't never met a more like this, and you ain't never, ever, ever gonna be one again. I wanna be your friend. Peace and love, to let me be your friend. Peace and love, oh yeah, you ain't never met a more like this, and you ain't never, ever, ever gonna meet one again. To let me be your friend. Peace and love, to let me be your friend. Peace and love, I wanna be your friend. Yeah, let me be your friend. All these men, we ain't trying to be enemies. I wanna be your, you let me be your, I wanna be your friend. Hey.